it's a learning thing. It's a learning every day. I'm in a great position to sit back, understand the game plan, understand everything that the NFL is. So, I'm ready for my opportunity whenever that happens. But and it's time that I'm not every week. So I have 6 games a week, So I'm happy rather than just having 1 game a week, on the weekends. So the scout team receivers, all of us, we all know like every day's game day, and we definitely approach everything in that fashion and everything because I truly believe.
Deion Sanders has had it up to here, and he's clapping back at the media with no filter. Reporters are out here twisting the story, making it look like Shedeur Sanders messed up by refusing to sit on the bench behind Lamar Jackson in Baltimore. But Deion isn't letting that fly. He's shutting down the lies loud and clear.
They forget, yes. I know, I played for Baltimore, so me and Ozzie are cool. So
there you go.
We understood that whole conversation, and he wanted to talk to Shedeur as well as he wanted to talk to me. And I put Shedeur on the phone, and Shedeur, I don't want to say how it went, but how in the world can somebody fault him for saying or thinking, why in the world would I go back up Lamar? Yeah, but where did these guys come from that sit on these platforms and say, oh, you should have sat in behind and learned the game and been what they developed? When have the pros ever developed anybody?
Think about it. When's the last time you saw a superstar quarterback in the NFL actually groom his backup to take his shine? It almost never happens. Quarterbacks protect their spots like gold, and the league isn't built on charity. Deion broke it down plain. Waiting around for someone else to teach you the game is a trap. If you want to make it in this league, you carve your own lane, prove your worth, and take control of your destiny. In the NFL, there's no space for sidekicks or apprenticeships. It's all about results right now. Deion snapped back at the critics, reminding everyone that by the time a player hits the NFL, the expectation is that he's already polished. Teams don't draft you to babysit your development, they draft you to win. And if you stumble...
There are some things that if you could go back and change, obviously hindsight's 20/20. But when you're looking at the better situation is definitely Baltimore, where you could potentially learn from a great and see how he manages so many different things outside of football rather than just performing at an elite level.
They'll toss you to the curb without a second thought. No hand-holding, no lessons. Either you're ready to shine or you're packing bags. That's why the media spin about Shedeur needing to sit and learn is nonsense. Deion made it crystal clear. The NFL ain't college. It's survival of the fittest. If you can't ball out on day one, they'll find someone else who can. Point blank, period. And let's keep it real. The timing of this so-called debate is shady as hell. Why didn't anybody bring this up during the draft? Why now, after Shedeur's already locked in and proving himself? Deion sees the game being played. This isn't analysis, it's a smear campaign. The media can't find a real weakness, so they're manufacturing drama to keep clicks coming.
When you get to the NFL, they expect you to know what you need to do and to do it, or somebody else go get in there and do it. Now, they teach you their playbook, but development and teaching you how to route folks up and you how to block and hold that point, man, please. Ain't nobody taught you.
Cam Newton even jumped into the mess, trying to sway the crowd by painting Shedeur as arrogant for not sitting behind Lamar. Cam argued that being in Lamar's shadow could have sharpened Shedeur's skills while teaching him how to juggle fame and pressure. He tried to make it sound like watching from the sideline was some golden opportunity. But Deion wasn't having it. To him, that logic is backwards. Why should Shedeur shrink himself for another man's spotlight when he's got the talent to build his own? This ain't about arrogance, it's about ambition. Deion's message is loud and simple. Shedeur doesn't need training wheels. He needs the ball in his hands and the field under his feet right now. Deion Sanders didn't just brush off Cam Newton's take, he crushed it with a cold, hard truth. Deion said flat out that in all his years as a pro, not once did he sit on the bench thinking, I'm learning today. He made it clear, sidelines don't teach you nothing worth keeping. Growth in the NFL doesn't come from sitting and watching. It comes from stepping into the fire, facing the pressure, and proving you belong. The bench? Deion scoffed. Like who? Who does that?
You gotta figure it out on your own, man.
There you go.
I've been trying to teach some guys that have come in and out of the building or all across that I ask you, how do you run your route like this? How do you run your route like that? I'm like, man, you just got to run it enough to figure it out.
Right.
He wasn't joking. He was making a statement. If you're not out there getting your hands dirty, you're not evolving. That's the game.
I ever sat on the bench and said, well, I learned a lot today.
Great quote. Goddamn, that is a good quote.
Who learns sitting on the bench? Like who does that?
Even Travis Kelce jumped in and backed Deion's words with his own story. He said players ask him all the time about how to run routes, but he doesn't sugarcoat it. There's no magic formula, no shortcuts. You only get better by running the routes yourself, making mistakes, and learning through trial and error. In this league, nobody's gonna hold your hand. You sink or you swim, period. Jason Kelce piled on too, taking it back to his rookie days with the Eagles. He remembered his coaches giving him one simple instruction: don't mess it up and you'll be the starter. That vote of confidence pushed him to take ownership of his career right away. Jason admitted if he had wasted time sitting behind veterans, waiting politely for a turn, it would have wrecked his progress. Success came from seizing the moment, not sitting back, hoping someone else passed him the torch. And here's where it gets real interesting. Shedeur Sanders himself is riding that same mindset, fully in sync with his father's philosophy. Instead of whining about being on the scout team, Shedeur has embraced it like a badge of honor. He's treating every rep as a chance to sharpen not just his body, but his mind. Shedeur even confessed he'd rather play 6 games a week than just 1. Why? Because nonstop competition keeps him locked in, tested, and growing. To him, this grind isn't a punishment, it's preparation.
But I'm like, son, you gotta be ready. You gotta be ready when it's time. But when it's time, you're gonna know. I say, and it's coming up. You know, I got a prediction. I ain't telling nobody. I got a feeling when it's gonna go down. But it's gonna go down this year. He's gonna get a shot.
Happen.
He sees it as the ultimate training ground, a stage that's building him up for the moment he finally steps into that starting role. Shedeur's confidence is blazing through. He's not waiting for a blessing. He's building his own spotlight. And when that chance comes, he's already laying the foundation to take it by storm.
Immersed themselves, both of them, in the game plan. Did a lot of drill work on the side, both before and after practice, and then they get some scout team reps so they can get some balls airborne and make sure that they're staying in sync, of course, because really Dillon being 1 play away and Shedeur being 2 plays.
Deion Sanders didn't hold back. He dropped a bold hint that Shedeur's time is right around the corner. He revealed the advice he's been drilling into his son: be patient, but be ready. Deion stressed that the Sanders family never moves sloppy. They stay prepared for every opportunity, every moment, every opening. And when Shedeur's number finally gets called, he'll be ready to snatch it with both hands. This ain't just about talent, it's about discipline, mindset, and a relentless grind that makes the spotlight his. Deion's confidence is shaking up the narrative. He's daring people to stay tuned because Shedeur's breakout is coming sooner than anybody thinks. He said it like a warning shot. Shedeur's about to hit the league in a way no one saw coming. And here's the kicker. Browns quarterback coach Bill Musgrave just stepped in and killed the whispers with a straight answer. He made it official. Shedeur Sanders will get his shot. No maybe, no if. Musgrave revealed that Shedeur and Dillon Gabriel have been battling in practice, pushing each other to the limit and sharpening every detail of their game. He said both of them are literally a few snaps away from first-team action, meaning Shedeur's moment isn't some distant dream, it's right in front of him. That confirmation flipped the whole storyline. While the media's been spinning tales about Shedeur making a bad choice by not hiding behind Lamar in Baltimore, Musgrave just exposed the truth. Shedeur's path is unfolding exactly how it's supposed to. Deion doubled down, calling out the press for twisting the Ravens story into a smear. He said plain and simple, the noise is fake, the distractions are endless, but none of it matters. Shedeur's locked in, fully prepared, and laser-focused on his shot. And don't miss this part. Musgrave confirmed that the fire between Shedeur and Gabriel is only making both of them better. It's not about waiting for a handout. It's about competing, grinding, and proving yourself every single day. The myth that Shedeur needs to sit back and learn is getting crushed from every angle. Deion said it best. It's patience, but it's also preparation. And when the call comes, Shedeur will be ready to explode onto that field with no hesitation. The whispers inside Cleveland's locker room are getting louder, and it's not just about talent anymore. Rumors are flying that the Browns coaching staff is walking a tightrope, terrified of choosing between Shedeur Sanders and Dillon Gabriel because of the heat it might bring. Some insiders say the coaches know Shedeur is the better playmaker, but they're scared to shake the status quo and risk backlash from veterans who don't want the spotlight stolen so soon. Think about it. Shedeur's name carries weight, and that's not something every locker room can handle. His father, Deion, is one of the most outspoken legends in the game. And some believe that makes the Browns hesitant to pull the trigger. The fear isn't just about performance, it's about politics, headlines, and the chaos of putting a Sanders at the front of the franchise. Players are noticing it too. Anonymous chatter from inside the team suggests there's a growing divide. Some players are pushing for Shedeur to get his shot, while others want Gabriel to step in first, thinking he's the safer choice. This quiet split is fueling even more tension because once the locker room starts picking sides, the coaching staff has no place to hide. And here's where the media has been piling on. Instead of focusing on the actual battle for the starting role, reporters are painting Shedeur as entitled, trying to make it sound like he expects the job handed to him. But people close to the team are saying that's flat out false. Shedeur's been grinding behind the scenes, logging extra hours, running scout team reps like every snap is the Super Bowl. The narrative that he's waiting for special treatment just doesn't match the reality coaches and teammates are watching every day. Bill Musgrave already confirmed Shedeur's moment is coming, so why the delay? Analysts are beginning to say the Browns may be dragging their feet out of fear of shaking up their system, fear of outside pressure, fear of what it means to unleash Shedeur Sanders into the spotlight with all eyes on him. Deion isn't letting that fear dictate the story. He's standing firm that Shedeur's time is inevitable, and when it happens, the impact will be seismic. But until that first snap comes, the tension is boiling. And every practice, every rumor, every headline is pushing the Browns closer to a breaking point. Eric Dickerson just threw gasoline on the fire, and his words cut deeper than anything we've heard yet. He flat out suggested that this controversy isn't just about football, it might be about race. Dickerson's take was raw. The Browns hesitating to unleash Shedeur Sanders could be tied to a bigger issue, a quiet resistance to letting young black quarterbacks with big personalities shake up the system. That's not just criticism. That's a bombshell accusation. Dickerson didn't mince words. He argued that the NFL has a long history of protecting its safe picks while dragging its feet on giving young, outspoken talent a fair shot. And in Shedeur's case, the silence feels louder than ever. Why is a quarterback with his talent still stuck on the sideline while the team struggles in plain sight? The Browns are now cornered, whether they like it or not. This isn't just a roster decision anymore. It's a cultural moment. Every snap Shedeur doesn't take is fueling the belief that the organization is too scared, too cautious, or too biased to give him the keys. And fans aren't staying quiet about it either. Social media is erupting with hashtags calling for Shedeur to start trending every single week. Inside the building, the tension is at a breaking point. Coaches can't ignore the pressure. Teammates are already split on who should start, and the media is circling like sharks, waiting for the Browns to either cave or collapse under the weight of their own indecision. Deion Sanders sees it all, and he's not backing down. He's already blasted the media for twisting the Ravens' narrative, and now he's standing taller than ever, making sure the league knows Shedeur's ready, and the only thing holding him back is politics. And here's the truth that nobody in Cleveland wants to say out loud. Every game that passes without Shedeur on the field is another gamble. If the Browns keep losing while hiding their most hyped rookie, the fallout could be brutal. This isn't just about one season. It's about the future of the team, the faith of the fans, and maybe even the reputation of the NFL itself. The clock is ticking, and the Browns can't dodge this forever. The question is simple but explosive. Will they finally hand Shedeur Sanders the ball, or will fear keep him locked to the bench until it's too late? The countdown is on, and the noise around Cleveland is deafening. Every analyst, every fan, every critic has something to say about Shedeur Sanders, and the story has turned into a full-on storm. Some claim he's too raw, others say the Browns are protecting him, while a growing wave insists the only reason he's not starting is pure politics. The drama is spilling out of the locker room and into living rooms everywhere. Deion Sanders has already drawn the line in the sand. He's not here for the excuses, not here for the delays. His voice has been sharp and fearless, making it clear that Shedeur doesn't need to sit behind anyone to learn how to win. Deion knows the truth. Greatness doesn't wait. It steps into the spotlight when the lights are brightest. And the way he's defending his son is shaking the league up in ways coaches and execs never saw coming. But here's the twist. The Browns' handling of this quarterback room has only poured more fuel on the fire. By letting Shedeur and Dillon Gabriel fight it out day after day, they've created a showdown that feels bigger than just football. Fans are split, teammates are picking sides, and the pressure on Stefanski's staff is climbing by the second. One wrong move, and the entire season could spin out of control. And Shedeur, he's not flinching. Every rep, every practice, every scout team snap is feeding his hunger to break out. He's already told people he'd play 6 games a week if he could, That's how much he craves the grind. That kind of obsession doesn't fade. It explodes the moment the opportunity comes, and everyone around him knows it. The writing's on the wall. Shedeur's time is coming, whether the critics like it or not. And when it does, the narrative will flip overnight. Those who doubted will scramble, and those who believed will be vindicated in a big way. And Shedeur's time is fast approaching. The critics can try to create controversy, but the Sanders family knows the truth. Shedeur is about to prove himself in a big way, and nothing will hold him back. So what do you think about all the criticism Shedeur Sanders has been facing? Do you believe the media is just trying to stir up controversy, or is there some truth to the idea that he should have sat behind someone like Lamar Jackson to learn? And what about Deion's stance? Do you agree with his approach that Shedeur's time to start is coming and he's more than ready? How do you feel about the way the Browns are handling their quarterbacks with Shedeur and Dillon Gabriel pushing each other for that starting role?